Hello, NDP. My name is Tara. Before COVID or pre-COVID, I was able to contact you guys whenever I needed to. And now it's like trying to pull hen's teeth. And the disability community has brought a lot of things to the leaders' attentions in both the Alberta Hummingbird Project and as well as the Alberta Age and Alberta Support Group on Facebook. Now, I know it's all about business and money and follow the gravy train, but there's another side to it. It's called the human factor. The human need or the basic needs of human rights or abilities, especially when it comes to disability. Now, I know you're probably tired of seeing my face on video or trying to write letters or contact you guys whenever, but it's all I can do because nobody is talking to me. Nobody is saying anything. Nobody is even asking me how I am doing. Well, word for you. I'm doing okay. But I know many that aren't. The reality is that many depended on services for mental health, such as the social groups and the social networking groups that allowed them to become more social and more able to function within society. Now that those have gone to the wayside because of COVID, because groups beforehand were larger than 15 people, and during COVID, you weren't allowed to go and talk to anyone or see anyone unless it was done by video. Now we've opened up the floodgates and said basically that we're allowed to have 15 or less people when it comes to gathering as long as social distancing is being done. What are we going to do when it comes to people's mental health and mental health factors? Yes, fine. Have your stuff when it comes to going outside and playing golf, but what about the factors of mental health? There's going to be a lot of people with a lot of mental health issues, especially if they have disabilities like mine or average Joe Schmuck down the hall that might have schizophrenia. These people, the people that had severe mental health issues such as schizophrenia, bipolar, all of that, needed those social groups in order to function in society because they are thought of as different, odd, or otherwise. Because their nature and their natural tendency and their brain neurology doesn't match the criteria that society depicts as normal. I don't even depict society's normal. If I say person-centered programs is what I need, I've run across stories and people stating on these groups that these social groups are what they need in order to be better in our society to function. But yet, what we need fell to the wayside because we had to go through COVID and isolation practices. Now that those isolation practices are over, can we have some normal within the disability community so that people can have a bit of social interaction through means of having worker relations, as in community supports concerning mental health and mental health issues? Not everyone wants to have a psychologist or a counselor on hand. Some of us just need something as simple as a community coach or a community aide to help them. Or group therapies such as art therapies, I don't know, a coloring group, I don't know, whatever, as long as someone was trained within the disability factions. The fact is that many mental health people are screaming for this. But yet, all we can talk about is business and how to open up Alberta. Should that also not constitute as mental health practices concerning businesses and helping people? Golf should be the last thing on any agenda when it comes to helping people and opening Alberta. Yes, have your businesses, but also have the practices in place that help people. My husband is on ResMat, which means he needs a machine called a CPAP in order to breathe at night. Because if he doesn't, and that machine of his stops working, he stops breathing. Places like ResMat or other medical stores that deal with breathing devices to help people with sleep apnea or asthma need these places open so that if their machine should go to hell in a handbasket, that means they can have accessibility to a store or a person that is professional enough to fix the machine that they need to breathe at night or even during the day if need be. Sometimes adults take naps. My husband needs that machine if he should take a nap. When it comes to other services such as walkers, aids, stores that sell these things or devices so that people can have mobility, what happens if their chair breaks down or the tire on that chair that happens to be manual, as in person driven, not automatic where they press a button and they go every which direction? It's hand done. If that wheel falls loose, that person is lacking mobility and a chair to get around in. If that walker falls apart on the senior, how do they walk without it when they have more chance to fall than anyone else? Hell, people my age use walkers and canes. Without these stores, mobility is an issue for many. Just like stores that sell CPAPs or the masks that the people need in order to use these machines that allow them to breathe at night or during the day if they should have a nap. It is these devices that keep people alive, to keep people functioning. Because my husband, without as much as he would probably never die because of lack of breathing at night, the fact is lack of breathing equals not a restful sleep, equals a freight train coming out through my bedroom if the machine stops working, and both of us end up with lacking of sleep. If my husband gets behind the wheel, because of lack of sleep, could equal accident, could equal death. I don't want to lose my husband. Me, on the other hand, because of my husband's lack of sleep and lack of judgment or whatever, due to lack of machine working, I lose sleep also equals accident. I don't know how to stress this. I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to make you guys think about these things because you're forgetting them. This is not the time to put out extracurricular activities when people's mental health and health is at play. Small business, if you're going to deal with small business, make sure that the businesses that deal with the health aspect, that sell machinery to help people breathe or walk or get around, are open. So that if something breaks down while everything else is trying to get going, at least people are taken care of. When it comes to mental health, make sure that the practitioners dealing with, say, counseling or psychology, or even the small nonprofit groups that deal with the aspects of trying to socialize with a mental disability or a psychosis. Because those groups kept people together. It helped people function. Excuse me while I close the door on a cat. Anyway, as I was saying, there's another side to it. When you have other issues such as needing glasses or a hearing aid, if you can't see, you can't drive. If you can't hear, you might be able to drive, but can you hear the ambulance? Without a hearing aid, that could be a going troubleshoot for many who might need their hearing aids fixed or their eyes readjusted for new glasses because they got older and their eyesight diminished. Much like hearing. Without a hearing aid, they can't hear. Without glasses, you can't see. And I tell you, for many, glasses is the difference between saving a life or ending a life, especially when it comes to driving or doing jobs that require vision, or jobs that require hearing and you need a hearing aid to hear. You cannot live without these devices if you have any form of disability that is of physical nature. You cannot work without them if these jobs require you to hear or see. Much like my husband without a CPAP machine. If he stops breathing, he doesn't get a restful sleep. He gets behind the wheel, he could end up injured or seriously injured or dead. Where does that put me? There are lives and people's needs that should be addressed first before we put on the agenda of outdoor activities. How much is it going to take to say something? Because the disability community is crying out for these services, for these programs that the nonprofits used to put out, where they allowed people to socialize in small groups, such as a group walk for mental health reasons. Often in these group therapies, there would be one person that was trained in whatever group therapy dealing with mental health issues. I keep on telling you and reminding you that person-centered programs for people with autism or ADHD or other developmental disabilities would be prime for people like me. I understand it's COVID, but we're also reopening up a province. Are we opening up a province about profit? Or is the human factor going to be a part of it? Because I feel like, and so does my community, that we're being ignored. When I hear live posts from the NDP about business and business type things on how to reopen, because some of that small business deals with health and mental health. And that should be first on the opening phase 1 type agendas, because people need aids of every size and what have you. So eyeglasses, hearing, anything dealing with mental health and group therapies and programs that help so many. These should be the first thing on the block. Then we go to other services such as clothing, hair, whatever. And then we should open up extracurricular activities such as pools or whatever. As a matter of fact, I think pools should fall in line with the group therapies because that's part of it. I can't stress this any further. I mean, festivals can wait, but a person's mental health can't. A person's physical health can't. Please address this. Thank you.